Yes, yes, yes. We are back for the first time. This is the HL podcast for our HL Tuesdays. We are still and will always be the dopest podcast in the DMV. We are presented to you all by the Harris Firm and Willpower Innovation.
Yes, sir.
I am Rock alongside your boy Chief.
Yes, sir. We in the building
we are in
today.
the cave right now. Crazy things is about to happen.
Yeah.
This is our third official episode of HL Interviews. Now, again, for everybody just watching this for the first time, we've had guests on in the past who join our shows on a particular podcast, on a particular episode, rather. But this is a new segment that we have where we'll be sitting down, interviewing upcoming and established Black entrepreneurs, activists, educators, entertainers, politicians, etc., to learn more about them, their businesses, and how they hopefully or have helped the and plan to help the Black community. Side note, please check out the fourth issue of the HL magazine, which is up on the HL Mag page right now.
That's going crazy right now.
The fifth issue will be coming in October, so check out that for anybody looking to be featured potentially as a potential entrepreneur or artist of the month, or having your article published, or if you're looking for a particular potential opportunity for us, please DM us on the HL Magazine page. Thank you all for following us on Facebook, TikTok, and IG at the HL Podcast. For those of you listening via podcast apps, our previous episodes are still available on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, SoundCloud, and of course you can check out our video clips on the HL Podcast on YouTube. That is our YouTube channel. And we are live right now and available on the Roku platform, courtesy of our partnerships with Politicking Broadcasting. We are live right now on the Politicking app. It's crazy. We definitely want to give a shout out to StreamYard for being able to be broadcasted on their platform right now. I think we're on Facebook as well right now. So definitely a blessing to be on all these platforms live right now. And definitely shout out to some of the Black-owned businesses that have not been mentioned yet, that has helped us along the way during this process. EM, Visions That Transcend, Blackwards Creators, EVAD Photography. We definitely thank you all, man. So let's get this ball rolling with this interview.
Man, let's see who we got today. Our guy, we like to call him, Ya JaKetted. Okay, a dad.
What's going on, brothers?
AKA Mindset Sensei. Okay, tell the people a little bit about yourself. We know you from LA. Go ahead, get them folks what you about, man. Go ahead, get it to them.
What's good, y'all? It's the one and only Ya JaKetted, aka your Mindset Sensei. What I do is help give you mental endurance so you can unleash the inner lion that lives inside of you, so you can go and chase greatness and get off the boat of average and dive into the sea of greatness. And that's what I'm about, man. Shout out to you, brothers. Shout out, man. I'm just amped up. I'm excited. Let's get
it. My God. All right. So you did spit a little bit. Tell them folks a little bit about your mission, man. Everybody come with a purpose, and the mission is all wrapped into one. Go ahead, tell the folks, what you think you was born to do, what you know that you were born to do on this earth.
Man, it's all in the name, man. Ya JaKetted stands for appointed to show God's name and anointing, and that's what I'm doing. And how I'm doing it is unleashing people's inner lion. We all got it inside of us. A lot of us have it domesticated. I'm here to unleash that door, unlock that door, so you can go out and be the best version of yourself. and I do it through just mentoring people, being vulnerable about my trials, my tribulations, the things I've been through in my life, and also representing the company, which is called Brand of Encouragement, putting my city on my back, Palmdale, Lancaster, and just that's the whole vibe, man. Unleashing people's inner lion and just taking over the world with it.
Man, that's what's up. Go ahead and get a culture of your acts, man. Tell them where we can find you.
You can only find me on one platform, and that is on Instagram at A Dad's Hustle. Well, you can find me on like Facebook, but I ain't gonna get you. And YouTube, you can find us on YouTube too at Brand of Encouragement. But if you trying to connect and you like, hey, I want to get my inner lion unleashed, then follow your boy at A Dad's Hustle on Instagram.
Man, that's what's up. You know, we follow you on all those platforms, my guy. You be spitting that real true knowledge. So let me ask you, we all got life goals. Okay. What has been your biggest challenge, like working towards your life goals?
The biggest challenge for myself that I actually been installing into other people now is seeing yourself and having value. That like seeing the value inside of yourself. Stop discounting yourself. And that is the main thing I've been doing for myself. Putting value inside of myself, not letting people discount me. And that has been the biggest struggle, because if you don't see value inside yourself, you're going to end up just letting people tell you what your worth is instead of you knowing what your worth is. So that has always been the biggest struggle. Like I was telling people today, hey, even the Big Mac got a value. Fact. You know, even a big, like I even called McDonald's today. I called McDonald's, was like, yo, can I get a discount on the Big Mac? The dude was like, nah, you can't get no discount on the Big Mac. But if you use your McDonald's app, you can get a discount on the, what was it, butter chicken sandwich. And I was like, nah, bro, I want a discount on a Big Mac. And he was like, nah, man, we don't got no discounts on the Big Mac. So for myself, it registered in my brain like, yo, if they ain't even discounting Big Macs, why am I discounting myself? So that's knowing your worth, I am worth more than a Big Mac.
Ooh, that's deep, man. That's deep. I never would have thought about calling them and just seeing if they would reduce the value, right? So still on this question, how can I put this? Because a mindset and value kind of goes in the same way. And like y'all know I quote Dr. Miles Monroe. He talk about Moses, which I'm in on Moses right now. That's who I've been studying lately. And how we were delivered from Egypt. We wasn't free. We were delivered into the wilderness. Egypt was still in our mind. Okay. So if Egypt is still in our mind, how do you get to the folks, you know, and tell them that they are valuable with Egypt on their mind? Egypt is oppression. Egypt is slavery. Egypt is telling us we're nothing more than that. We 3/5 of a human. How do you get value into people's mind?
Man, how I give value to people's mind, it all starts with your mouthpiece. Death and life is in the power of your tongue.
Yes, sir.
So what are you speaking over yourself? The kids of Egypt and everything like that, they were going, I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. And so what were they planning in their mind? Going back instead of looking forward. Even though God delivered them, even though God did whatever He's did for them, they was still looking back. And so it all starts with your mouthpiece. Death and life is in the power of your tongue. And how I take it a step further for people is your tongue is a pen, your heart is a tablet, is a piece of paper. So I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't always good in school. So I used to go to detention a lot. And when I used to go to detention, it was because I was talking too much. And they were like, Ya JaKetted, sit down, shut up. Like, matter of fact, we're going to put you in detention. And they like, here's a piece of paper, here's a pencil. We need you to write, I will not talk in class. And what did I do? I will not talk in class. 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 And the next day I went to class, I wasn't talking as much. It wasn't because I had the right standards. It was because I wrote it out so much. Subconsciously, I believed it. So I didn't say nothing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But the next month, I forgot that I wrote those standards. Right. So then I went back to talking again. It's the same thing with yourself. When you keep telling yourself over and over again, I don't care what it is. I'm stupid. Oh, I ain't never going to be created equal. I ain't never going to be smart. I ain't never going to lose weight. I ain't never going to do this. I ain't never going to do that. When you keep telling yourself over and over again, what you were doing is you're writing it out, because your mouth is the pen, your heart is the piece of paper. You writing it out like standards, and it becomes your standard of living.
Man, that's tough. That's tough to say. That's tough to internalize. I hope the viewers are internalizing that, because that's big time, especially in this year and forever. Because speaking of the Moses, the adults didn't make it. Egypt was still on their mind. The adults didn't get there. The kids did, because the kids didn't have Egypt on their mind. You get what I'm saying? So let me ask you this then. What's the hashtag defeat Sam? And what does that mean to you?
Defeat Sam stands for sex, attention, and money. My goal is, for most people that don't know my story, is your boy had infidelity inside of his relationship with my wife, where me and my wife, I was unfaithful to my wife, just to put it like that. I was unfaithful. To give it to you guys in a nutshell, me and my wife is about to celebrate 7 years of marriage next week on Saturday, and I can say wholeheartedly, my wife has been happy only up to the COVID. Dang. So we'll just put it out there like that. I know my wife since I was 12 years old. I have not, and we got together, boyfriend and girlfriend, when I was 18. I've been talking to other women since I'm 18, and I'm 32 now. So y'all put all that together.
Right.
And what Sam is the 3 areas that I struggle with, and the 3 areas that most men struggle with: sex, attention, and money. You either trying to get the cookie, or you want the attention from some kind of woman, or you chasing the bag. You know, they used to say, what was it? Girls, glory, and gold, something like that. But I gave it a name: sex, attention, and money. And so I just been on a mission trying to cut the head off of that giant in my life, and helping other men cut the giant off in their life.
Oh man, that's tough. Wow. So you just been speaking about it and just giving it life, like you said, life and death at the same time, being honest about it. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to help men, but especially us men, black men, right now in this time. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that.
For me, it's I just been showing my vulnerability with it, you know, and it's for 2 reasons. I'm showing my vulnerability with it because it's okay for a man, a black man, to show that he's vulnerable. It's okay that we show that we make mistakes, because in that vulnerability is where I got my healing. That's where I started. I wasn't able to fix my marriage, and in the process of fixing it, until I got right with myself. And so that's the first thing, is showing vulnerability and of that nature. But man, it's a man can't lead. If a man can't lead his household, he ain't gonna be able to lead elsewhere. You want to know why things are going crazy how it is? How many men are really leading their household? Not a lot.
That's
a man
tough
that
to
can't
say.
lead his household cannot lead outside of his household.
Man, I'm so glad you said that, because especially with the lion parables that you speak of a lot, and I definitely adopted a lot over these years, man. When you talk about leading, I think I got the question, do we need black leaders or not? And I'm like, yeah, yes, we do. You get what I'm saying? Because let's go back to the lion. If the mom or the dad lion never shows the cubs how to hunt, the cubs never know what's inside of them. They never know what they are capable of. So we do need black leaders. So what you're telling me is now that you're trying to transform that leadership mentality in these black men right now.
Exactly. It's all about that lion mentality. And when I started see how I came, how the lion mentality came to me one day was I was flipping through National Geographics and I was watching this thing called Savage Kingdom. So I'm watching it and everything like that. And God came to me clear as day and he was like, "Are you a lion?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm a lion. Like, man, what you talking about? I'm a lion." He was like, "Oh, really? You a lion? I don't see you like a lion." And then the next clip was a cheetah. And he's like, "I see you like this." I was like, "What? Nah, man, I'm a man. What you talking about? Ain't no man trying to be no cheetah. What you talking about? How many men you know that got cheetah print on them? You don't know. No, I'm a lion." And he was like, "No, I see you as a cheetah for two reasons. The first reason is cheetah. You a cheater. You know, that's the first reason, because I see you as a cheetah. But the second reason is you're not a lion and you more of a cheetah, because what does a cheetah do? A cheetah wants to be in flat lands, the grass ain't tall, and it wants to chase its prey, and it wants it fast. Everything you want is fast. Oh, let me play the lotto right quick. Let me play the lotto right quick and try to get this fast money. Oh, let me talk to old girl and get it real fast. Everything you want is fast. Give it to me fast. You got that microwave faith, Ya JaKetted. So you want it fast. And he said, "You don't have the heart of a lion." And I was like, "Oh, shoot." And so then he broke it down to me. Lion has an abbreviation. It's a mentality, but it has abbreviation. And that abbreviation stands for, the L is legacy, the I is integrity, the O is overcomer, and the N is never settled. And so God was just showing me, yo, are you thinking about your legacy? No, because you're thinking about trying to get into old girls' legs instead of taking care of your wife and your territory. You know, you ain't even thinking about your legacy. Are you walking with integrity? No, because how many women that you know that you got a wedding ring on and you still trying to have sex with them? You ain't walking with integrity. Are you being an overcomer? No, because you still haven't tackled your lust. You still haven't cut off the head of your dragon. And you still don't know that you now you settle. You don't know. Never settle. Never settle. A lion doesn't settle. How many vegan lions you know?
Right. None.
You know, a lion will die eating meat, chasing the zebra, chasing the wildebeest before it eats grass.
That's deep. That's deep, bro. That's deep, man. So obviously, your mindset, man, over these past few years have grown. It's turned into something that we all need. So we appreciate you for dropping that knowledge and wisdom on us. So let me ask you this, because police brutality has been a thing since, I don't know, the earth has gotten, been here, especially on us. And with these daggone camera phones in social media, it's catching a lot of stuff, even the things that we didn't know that was happening, it's catching and everything. How do you think Black people in general can use social media to circumvent the media's propaganda right now?
And I think social media is a gift and social media is a curse. I think it is a gift in a way of God loves his Black people. He loves all people, but he loves Black people. And what society has used for evil, God is going to use it for good, and is bringing light to certain things that we never got to see before.
Right.
You know, and that is the importance of your cell phone. You get to capture it. You know, you get to bring that darkness to the light. You know, and I believe that social media is important, and I believe that it takes strong Black people, white people, Mexican people to really stand up for injustice and go, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. And I think with social media, it really shows. It really shows who you really are as a person. Like it shows. I was joking around on my live the other day, and I was talking about 9/11. And with 9/11, it's a very touching thing, you know. But you see a lot of people remember 9/11 and they'll
never
post
forget.
about 9/11.
Yeah, never forget.
Never forget 9/11. And then what I did was, I was like, you know what? You're right, though. Don't forget about 9/11 because a lot of people did lose their lives because of 9/11. But then I go click on some of these people's page, but you say nothing about no injustice. So I had to go and hit that unfollow button based upon that. Not because, and it's based upon that because at the end of the day, a lot of us like to glorify the flag. We all love the flag, but the flag stands for liberty and justice for all. That means my people. That means black people. That means minorities. That means my people. But you ain't standing up for that. And the reason why you would stand up for 9/11 and not injustice is really based upon you don't want to talk about something confrontational.
Yeah, I feel you. And we talk about that Moses thing all the time with being in the desert with the Egypt mindset. You get what I'm saying? Like, God loves all people, but he did choose a group. Just so happen to look like us. So are you telling me now, right? Are you telling me now that Egypt is on our mind, obviously still, that we're not utilizing social media correctly?
No, we don't use social media correctly. Even me, I just started using my social media correctly for myself, being the voice and being transparent, but we don't use social media how we should use social media. Social media is big. You know how big social media is? You know how many people, like right now, I probably got, I don't know, I got rid of a lot of followers on 9/11. So at one point in time, I know I had close to 1,000 people, right? And with that, am I really affecting those 1,000 people? Like, if you really took the time to educate your people on your social media, forget everybody else's social media, educate the people on your social media, you know how much further we'll be as a society?
Oh, facts. I agree.
But we ain't doing that. You using your Instagram reels for shaking your ass. I don't know if I can say ass, but you over here shaking, you over here showing, you over here exposing yourself, and then like we ain't using it for the right things. You rather post about your car than the person that got pulled out of the car and can't go home to their family no more.
Oh man, that's deep. You're absolutely right. So I asked Amrock a question real fast because I have this quote that I heard earlier from Dr. Miles Monroe that goes perfectly with this question that I'm going to ask you, brother. He said Moses is understand this, that they rather live, let me read this correctly, they'd rather live with my people and suffer than to enjoy the pleasures of the palace of the oppressor. So he said, I rather live with my people and suffer than to enjoy the pleasures of the palace of the oppressor. So, Amra, how do we spread more truth to the folks who, like Harriet Tubman would say, those Negroes who, she would free more if they knew that they were slaves? How can we spread these truths right now? Because there's a lot of stuff blocking it. It is the difference between white Twitter and black Twitter. If you watch The Great Hack on Instagram, on Netflix, we watch that. They know how to filter it. How can we beat
that? That's a good question. First, it starts with education, right? You can't, what's the old saying? Like, if you don't know your history, you're liable to repeat it, right? So for the Negro, especially in America, those uneducated Black people, they need to be educated. So how do we get people, especially maybe adults, educated, right? Like you said, Ya JaKetted, we have to effectively use social media because that's the biggest thing right now, right? Nobody's really I mean, some people still read books, but not everybody, right?
Mm.
But if you put maybe textures of a book on social media, then people might read it, right? Might perceive it. And then we also have to watch those quote unquote coons who are educated, but simply just don't want to. They simply want to side with their oppressors, because, as you said in the beginning, right? That's what's been drilled into them. That's what they're used to. They're taught that this is success, right? White people are success, right? Or how they look, or the jobs that they have, or the cars that they drive, or the houses that they live in is success. And so for some Black people, they are infatuated with that. They crave that, and they understand that this is going to be a challenge. So what do you have to do? You have to, I know I'm educated, but let me pretend that I'm not, in order to step into those rooms. So how do you feel about that?
I look at it like how you said, educating yourself. And be the first. And there's nothing wrong with not having all the information, like being okay with that. Like for myself, I get pulled into a lot of conversations because, hey, I'm Black, right?
Right.
But for myself, I actually grew up with a whole bunch of Hispanics. My neighborhood I lived in, I was surrounded by more Hispanics than Blacks, right? So I have more education on the Spanish side than what I actually do on the Black side. But then I was introduced to Caleb in the politicking forum. And I tell Caleb all the time, hey, I get on this show so I can know how y'all think. But I'm not afraid to say I don't know everything about everything. But I also know at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I know up here. I'm always being judged for this.
Facts.
Right. So I know, like how you said, we got to educate each other and of that nature. When you were talking, it reminded me of what was the movie called? Django.
Oh man.
you got everybody was mad at Samuel L. Jackson. Everybody's like, oh man, woo! But a lot of us act like that. A lot of us act like that. You would turn your back on your brother and for a quick dollar. Or you have that oppressed mind where back in the day where people were like, we can do this, we can run away, we can get free. And other people was like, what you mean? Get free. I'm gonna get free and I have to live in such and such way where I can stay at home with the master, and I know I know it's not the best, but I get some kind of meal.
Right.
Where a lot of us don't want to be free. It's like the elephant tied to a tree or an elephant tied to a chair. Elephant got the power to get away, but the elephant has been programmed in its mind, you can't get away. This is what you know. Like going back to lions, like some of us are circus lions. And what I mean by that is, how do you control a circus lion? A chair and a whip. You control a circus lion with a chair and a whip. That lion is 10 times as stronger than the trainer. The lion can eat the trainer. All the lion has to do is remember, damn it, I'm a lion. I can eat you. But the lion is distracted. A lion is distracted by the chair. That's the purpose of the chair. To distract the lion over here, let me distract the lion with the chair, and then the whip comes in, bam, to get you. That is going on with social media. Let me distract you a little bit. Let me talk about COVID. Hey, here's the chair. And then bam, let me go kill another Black person.
Yep.
So you better stop being that circus lion. But like I said, we got to educate ourselves. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from Politicking Forum. I'm learning for a lot of people. Then I'm going back and I'm not just sitting on the information I got. I'm going back and I'm spilling it out to my Hispanic friends, my white friends, my Caucasian, my Asian friends. I'm spilling it out to whoever is like, yo, hey, this is what it is. This is what we're going through. My living is different than another black person's living, but at the end of the day, we all black. And if they send you back to Africa, guess who else are they sending back to Africa? They sending me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Man, that's facts, and
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely appreciate your knowledge, man. You dropping it on, and yeah, I would like to add as well, man. Like Dr. Miles Monroe, that's my guy. He's been preaching a lot, just teaching me. He asked a question. What he really said was just we shouldn't confuse freedom with deliverance. Okay, he said freedom is not a location; it's a mentality. You know, when we left Egypt, we were delivered. Moses wasn't a freedom fighter. He was a deliverer. He delivered us into the wilderness. You get what I'm saying? You can't deliver nobody into freedom. Why? You can't deliver someone's mindset. You can deliver your own. You could be free up here yourself, but you can't do that with millions and millions of people because freedom is not a location. It's a mindset. So when you hear that, what comes to mind?
What comes to my mind is a quote that says, "Your mind is like a dog without a leash. You must put a leash on your mind so it doesn't run about wildly." Your mind is like a dog without a leash. You must put a leash on your mind so it doesn't run about wildly. A lot of times, I'm in the business of motivating, inspiring, and encouraging people, going in, praying for them, and everything of that nature. But I'm just giving you the tools. I'm giving you the perspective. It's on you to do the work. It's on you to believe it. It's on you to take it and do something with it. And for a lot of times, I love how you said it. Moses didn't do it. God had to use, I believe it was Aaron. He had to use somebody else to come in and finish the job. You know, that's why Nipsey says the marathon continues, because he opened up the Pandora box so we can see a different perspective. But then somebody had to come in and finish the marathon. You got a closed mind, a closed mind, a closed mind. You ain't gonna go nowhere. And you got to realize inside of yourself, you can't save everybody. I had to realize in myself, you know what? I can't change every white person I come in contact with.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna go. You ain't gonna be able to change everybody you come in contact with. Ya JaKetted. Some people don't want to get off the boat of average and dive into the sea of greatness. Some people like being that cage lion. Some people like being domesticated. I had somebody tell me one time, "Hey, Ya JaKetted, I know you're talking about being a wild and free lion, but you ever thought about, a domesticated lion actually lives longer than a wild and free lion?" And I looked at him and said, "I'd rather die wild and free, using my potential and being who I'm called to be locked up in the cage, listening to artificial noise all day, and having somebody having to feed me."
Dropping that wisdom, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
So while we're on the subject of education and knowledge, and obviously Moses and Lion, when they were out in the desert, it takes a lifetime to what Dr. Miles Monroe said. It takes a lifetime to kind of break that Egypt mentality, or in other words, get the gift that was inside those adults that were out there, meaning the kids. And he also said that if you don't teach these kids the history, they could destroy your future. So what's the most important thing or things that we should be teaching kids, teenagers, even young adults in this very moment?
I've been I've been teaching people, give yourself a fighter's chance.
Mm.
That's what I've been big on, giving yourself a fighter's chance. At the end of the day, I can't change what a white person thinks of me. I can't change any of that. But my number one job is to get back home to my wife and my 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
That is my number one job. I know police brutality is going on. I know they don't like me. I know that my hands are lethal weapons to them for some reason, even if I have them stuck on the steering wheel.
Right.
Even if I tell them everything that I'm doing, I'm still a threat to them. Well, guess what? I'm still going to give myself a fighter's chance. And what that means is, hey, some people call it kissing butt. I'm just being polite. Hey, I'm not going to give you any reason to pull out a gun and shoot me. I ain't going to run. I ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to do what you asked me to do. And if you still shoot me after that, guess what? Hey, now it's going to be on the news and it's going to say, this man didn't do anything.
Right.
And you shot him and killed him. I'm not going to let you be able to paint a different narrative of me.
Right. Facts. So same question to you, Amrock, with the stage set, you know, education is big for our future to not be destroyed. What should we be teaching the young generation who is going to be our leaders when we're older?
I guess the main principles that I think any child needs is to be able to, once they get older, especially, is to be able to express themselves, be able to take care of themselves, and be able to respect others that respect them. So we have to embody that in them first and foremost. As they get older, teaching them that it's not just about what you see on social media, because that's going to be the main thing, especially as you know, we don't have children yet, but I can imagine with your 2 kids, and when we do have children, it's social media right now.
Right.
That's where it's going. That's where it's going to be. Everything is going to be looking at your phone, looking at a laptop, or, you know, looking at an app for information. So it's about, hey, you can be an electrician and make a decent amount of money. You can be a plumber and make a decent amount of money. Hey, you know, I won't say maybe not in this day and age, but not to no ill will or anything towards the military. But when things are right, maybe you can go into the military and join the Air Force or the Navy and become a pilot. You know, all those different things, all those different possibilities, instead of just what you're seeing, what you're looking at right now on social media. That's why we do this, is to try to educate in our own way, you know, people who may not be, or, you know, and ignorance doesn't mean you're ignorant. It just means what you may not know something, right? So you know, so that's what I would say is that there are other possibilities than what you're looking at right now, in this very moment, in this very time. Life is still evolving. You know, get your head away from this all the time. You know, you know, there's life still going on. Hey, become a police officer in your own community. Why? You know, like, you know, because honestly, that's what we're kind of lacking, especially in these situations, unfortunate situations that we're seeing. So, you know, I would say that.
Perfect. I appreciate the input from both of y'all. I would definitely like to say that, which maybe, I'm not gonna say tough, but I would like to, like, especially if I had, you know, children, I would teach them purpose. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to understand God, but we can make them understand that they were here for a very, very reason. In this moment in time, they were put on this earth, pulled out of infinity and put into time to do something, to spread that fruit. You get what I'm saying? I would tell them how to great friends around you. Those ones that, if we talking tree, those ones that are roots and not the leaves, because we know what leaves do when it's fall. We know what leaves do when it's winter. You know, they'll come back on you when it's spring and summer when you flourishing. But when it's hard times, they out of here. Even those branches, you know, they'll stick around until a hurricane come. Hurricane come, the branches is out of there. The hurricane could be you in a time of anxiety, you in a time of transition, you in a time where you really need them. They out of here. You get what I'm saying? So I would teach them like purpose, like find your gift, because that's one thing for sure. You are unique. You get what I'm saying? This, you want to talk about value, this come with value. As we spoke earlier, we were chosen. However they want to put it. We were a chosen group of people walking in the desert. So why were we chosen? Let's figure that out. You know, so that's what I would like to add. Like I would like to teach my children real true purpose. So since we're on purpose, Ya JaKetted, what do you think about purpose in this time? You know, it's 2020, next year it's 2021. No telling how that's gonna be. You know, how you feel about purpose?
Ah man, you talking about 2020. Hey, I'll say it like this. If you ain't doing your purpose in 2020, I'm talking to my grown folks, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing your purpose in 2020, you ain't gonna do your purpose in 2021, 2022, 2023. You ain't gonna do it because you're finding every excuse in the world not to do it. You stuck at home, it's COVID. Why aren't you working on your dreams and your goals? Why aren't you trying things? Why aren't you? I don't know what my purpose is, Ya JaKetted. Well, guess what? Today on HL interview, we're going to help you get your purpose. This is your purpose. Whatever comes easy to you, that is what your God gift is. For me, I can step up, I can talk, I can, that's what I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? My wife, she got her purpose. Y'all got your purpose. Whatever it is that you're good at, and stay in your lane and do your purpose. Stay in your lane and do your purpose. I can't do what y'all do. Y'all can't do what I do. I can't draw. I know people that can just freehand draw like it's nothing. But you over here trying to be a barber. Like, wait, what? You can freehand draw? You can draw? In 2020, you got to live out your purpose. If my daughter at 3 years old is already calling out to her purpose, not letting anybody sway her, then what is your excuse? My daughter, since she's been born and since she's been talking, she's been saying airplane, airplane, airplane. Now she's saying, I'm going to be a pilot. I'm going to be a pilot. And then she started owning it. And she said, I'm going to fly an orange airplane.
Now she's putting color to it.
She started owning it. And we thought it was just she's just saying that because it's her favorite color. Her auntie asked her, hey, there was an airplane that flew by. And she was like, hey, is that your airplane? My daughter looked up. She was like, that ain't my airplane.
Right.
She was like, it's an airplane. She was like, no, it's not orange.
And she 3.
And she 3. and then on top of that, she has so much faith in me that she goes, my daddy's gonna buy me that airplane. So when it goes back to your purpose, I started to have faith in my God, my daddy, the same way my daughter has faith in me. Where I gotta go. I looked up the price. I was like, damn, an airplane costs that much? Ooh. And I gotta buy a hanger. Ooh, baby girl. Woo-hoo. You putting some pressure on your daddy.
You gotta buy a hanger.
And I'm on now, man.
Yeah.
The pressure is on. But what am I going to do? Am I going to go, no, I can't get you that? No, I'm not going to crush my daughter's dream. I'm going to do whatever I can. Whatever I can. And at a young age, what do? We install it, like how you said, purpose, finding your calling, knowing that your skin color may hold you back, but it can't stop you. And what we did at a young age for my daughter is at the age of, you can fly an airplane before you can drive a car. So we figured out by 16, my daughter can get her pilot's license.
Wow.
So what we did is we actually signed her up for like this pilot, like it's this pilot magazine. So everything that comes in her name. So she's associated.
Wow.
She don't even know how to spell her name yet. But when we give her the magazine, she looks down. She goes, "Oh, that's my name.
Right.
That's me. I'm a pilot." She has a little pilot card, and she's thinking, "I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot." To the point where she scared me and my wife and told me and my wife, she was like, "Yeah, social media, the power of social media is." Remember, she's 3. She said, "There's a lot of fires going on right now. I want to be one of those ones to drop the water in."
What?
Wow.
So for me being daddy, I'm like, "Ooh."
Right, that hurt your soul.
Yeah, you don't want to go like work at like American Airlines or something like that. You want to go, no, daddy. I want to be one of them because they're flying over our house, get in the water or whatever, and she's like, "I want to be one of them." I'm like, dang, but she knows her purpose, and she's not letting anybody tell her outside of that, and that's how we gotta be as adults. 2020, go, you know what? This is what my purpose is. This is what I'm going to do. And don't let anybody distract you and take you off your course.
Facts. That's deep. Appreciate that. And she's 3, right?
3.
She's 3
years old.
Man, and I asked this question a little off script, but I asked this question like, why do you think our people in general are afraid of purpose? Because like in parable form, which I speak to Amrock about a lot, is like it's this place in like in Africa, right? And I kind of like use purpose in this spot in this place, but it's like it's all green, all the fruits, all the vegetation, all the animals are there. Then they kind of leave, and then this fire just come through and just wipe out everything. It's all black, everything is charred, nothing left. And next thing you know, a few weeks to a month later, it starts to rain. And then after it rains, guess what? The vegetation is back. You get what I'm saying? The trees are back flourishing. The animals about to make the path through. I kind of relate that in parable form to purpose because I don't know why we're afraid of purpose, but we should relate it to that because purpose changes every day. We know one thing's for sure, but we know it kind of changes. You get what I'm saying? One day it's really, really dark and charred up, and next thing you know, it's full of vegetation. You know, we thriving in it. Why do you think us as a whole is afraid of purpose? Is it a mentality thing? Is it that Egypt mentality?
It's that Egypt mentality. Think about it. What was he doing? He was baiting with God, saying, "God, I can't do that. I have a speech impediment. I can't talk to the people like that. Right. I can't do that." And God was like, "Man, don't even trip off that. I'll bring somebody your way to help you out." Like, stop tripping. No, that's what happens inside of ourselves. We tend to go, "I'm not going to do this purpose," but then you go and live out, and like I had to tell myself, stop working somebody else's dream. Stop working somebody else's dream. Like the job that I just got laid off of, like that wasn't my dream. Nowhere in there did I tell myself I wanted to sell cell phones for the rest of my life. But it was good money. It was good money. And so once they let me go, I realized, you know what, Ya JaKetted, you were working somebody else's dream. You ain't even walking in your purpose and in your calling. And then when you look yourself in the mirror, you don't know who you are because you ain't walking in the dreams and the purpose and the goals that God has placed back in you when he knows every number of hair on your head when he created you in your mama's womb when you were swimming upstream in your daddy's nutsack. Like he gave you a purpose way back then, but a lot of times we're listening to these artificial noise of everybody else telling us what we should do. Oh, you should go to school and go get an education. Well, I really want to be a cook. No. You don't need to be a cook. Everybody in the family are lawyers. Or you Ya JaKetted, you want to be bigger than Eric Thomas? Oh my God. You tripping. You tripping. There ain't even no money in speaking in people's lives. What you should do this. And a lot of times we run away from our purpose, but I guess I would say it like this. When you don't know who Christ is, you have an identity crisis.
Woo,
So when you don't know who Christ is, when you don't have a connection upstairs, and you ain't letting him be that instinct inside to tell you what your purpose is and what you should do, you're going to be having an identity crisis. And you know what comes after an identity crisis? You become an identity thief.
That's deep.
You know what? I love what they're doing on the H&L podcast. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to start me a podcast. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I love what this person is doing. And you're going to be doing the same thing, doing it for years. And then next thing you know, you're going to be like, this ain't what I want to do. Why?
Right.
Because you're an identity thief and you got an identity crisis and you committed fraud.
Ooh, identity crisis. That's deep. I wish we had some claps in this.
Right.
That's deep, right? That's deep. The world needs to hear that, right? Because purpose is going to sneak up on you anyway. It's that thing that's bugging you in your ear at all times, whether you like it or not. And like you said, that artificial noise, that's in your ear, that's going to get drowned out because something right here called purpose is going to be getting at you. So let me ask you this, or I'll take a hard left. How do you feel, and this is on politics, I don't know if you speak a lot about it, but we will ask on the HL podcast, how do you feel right now with this election that's up and coming, Biden, Harris, all of that? Go ahead and give it to the people.
Your boy's not big on politics. I'm just gonna say that first and foremost. But I would say you gotta choose the best of the two evils. That's how.
Wow.
You gotta choose the best of two evils. They both are evil at the end. Like, this is my opinion. They both got some hidden agendas. They both got their own thing going on. What you saying, Ya JaKetted? Are you for Trump? Hell no, I'm not for Trump, and hell no, I'm not for Biden. Because at the end of the day, you go, hey, Biden is the way to go. Oh, is that right? Hey, guess what? What is Biden? Biden's a Democrat. Hey, guess what? California is a Democrat state. Hey, guess what? What they just passed, the SB 145, where they're saying that long as there's a 14-year-old and a 21-year-old, no, a 10-year. So a 24-year-old can get with a 14-year-old and it's okay.
What? Out in California?
In California, they just passed it. And what are we? California is a Democratic state, right?
Yeah, it's blue.
And the thing about that is, did I vote on that? No, you didn't.
Right.
I didn't vote on that. You just passed it, and you're like, here you go. This is what's going on.
Right, like who are those rooms that's passing these bills without having us in the room, Sunday meetings? Have you talked to anybody? Like, what's going on?
I'm learning to go. My suggestion to people in politics is take off the blinders, and the same standard you will give one person, give that same standard to the other person. And once I started doing that, I started going, okay, yeah, is Trump an ass? Yeah, Trump is an ass. He be saying some stuff. I'm like, man, this dude is stupid. Like, what are you saying? And then I go, let me do the same thing to Biden. Let me measure Biden to the same standard I measure Trump. And then that's when I started realizing, yo, bro, you got to pick the less of two evils. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point in time, my dude Biden told me, if you're not black, if you don't vote for me,
right, you're not black enough. Or something
you're not black enough. Okay, he said that a couple months ago. Freaking Trump, when he first got elected, was going against Hillary. He said, I don't care if you black people vote for me. I'm going to win anyway.
He actually said that in 1998. He said, if I ever ran for the president of the United States, I'm gonna run as a Republican, simply because I know that I'm going to win if I run as a Republican?
Out loud.
What's less of you measure Trump to a certain thing, and then you measure Biden to another thing. Last thing I would say on it is I seen a thing where it's to me it's marketing in a way. It's marketing. Politics is like marketing at its finest. That's the way I see it.
Fact, they put so many dollars behind it, man. I agree with that.
Marketing at its finest. Hey, how can I get the black vote? Let me bring in Camila. She black. Most people ain't gonna do that. Most people aren't gonna do their homework.
Omarosa for Trump.
Yeah. Most people aren't gonna do their homework. So you gonna blow. I'm talking about myself. Ya JaKetted. Who did you vote for? I voted for Obama. Why did you vote for Obama? What did he stand for? What were some of the things that he was talking about? I have no idea. I just voted for him because he was black. But that's how a lot of us think. Now I started educating myself. Like, man, especially since I got kids, I'm like, you passing what? You passing? Wait, a 24 over my dead body. A 24-year-old is going to be trying to date my daughter when she's 14. We're gonna have some problems, you know. And you got to do your homework on both sides, not just one side. To me, it's a big old gang anyway. You got the original Bloods and Crips going after each other, and you got to do your homework, like for real. But at the end of the day, you got to pick less of the two evils. Which one of them holds the most value to you?
Neither.
Exactly. Kanye at this point.
Not even him.
I'm about to put God on my ballot.
Fact.
Hey, I told people, listen. I didn't know. I think it was in California. Somebody put their name on the ballot, and it was some weird name. And I was like, whoa, I can put my name on the ballot. So next election, if you see the name Ya JaKetted on the ballot, just know it's marketing. I ain't really trying to go out for president. I just want people to look up my name and be like, "Oh, who the heck is Ya JaKetted?"
I think I know what you're talking about. I think he put like these nuts or some kind of.
Yeah, these nuts. That's what it was. Yeah. These nuts. I was like, what?
And it made it far too.
Like, next year, I'm gonna vote for these nuts.
Right.
Well, thank you, Chief, man, as always, for conducting the first part of the interview, man. Appreciate it, brother. Now,
man, you the man.
Facts, man. Definitely appreciate having you on, man. Definitely. Now, for everyone who listens to the podcast, we have our top 5, right? At the end of the show, we have to do top 5 Black films, top 5 championship moments in NBA history, or whatever the case may be. So for the interviews, we do a quick 5 segment. So I'll ask you the same. I'll ask you 5 questions, and just need like your quick response, yet honest response to that question. So first up, tell us one thing that you know now that you wish you did when you first started your journey.
I would have saved my marriage if I would have walked in my purpose a long time ago.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate that. Next, which public figure that has passed on would you like to meet? Hopefully, talk about each other's experiences, potential business opportunities, or simply just pick their brains for their knowledge. Which public figure, again, that has passed on would that be?
Public figure. I would say he came in my head, so I'm going to go with him. I'm going to say Nipsey Hussle, only because I never really listened to his music. But after he died, he actually came to me in my dream and talked to me about stuff. So I would like to pick his brain to see what the heck was he talking about in my dream.
That's dope. Wow. That's dope. Wow. Yeah, right. That's dope.
That's deep. That's
deep.
So next, all right. So when and if you happen to curse, we've heard you curse on here. What is your favorite? What is your favorite curse word and why?
Oh, okay. Favorite
Right.
curse word and why? Favorite curse word is pussy.
This
Why is
guy.
my favorite? Why is it my
Okay.
favorite curse word? It's my favorite curse word because it throws people off guard when a Christian man is so raw and transparent and says, "Hey, keep your dick in your pants and stop chasing the pussy."
Right.
Enough said.
Right.
Enough said. So 2020, right? You mentioned it earlier. Describe it in your own words. 2020.
2020 has been triumphant. It has shown me what I'm really capable of doing. It showed me the value of what my family really means to me. And it has been the starting point of me seeing my purpose in life.
Okay. I
Fire.
appreciate that, man. And finally, what and or who do you pray for the most?
Oh, who do I
Yes,
pray for?
sir.
I pray for my wife. I pray for my kids. I pray for my family. I pray for myself the most.
Okay.
And I pray for myself the most because I used to be an EMT. And the main thing they taught you as an EMT is scene safety. And what that means is you don't go in and help a patient if the building is on fire. You gotta wait till the fire department says, "Hey, it's okay for you to go in the building." Why they say that is because you are not good to anybody else if you are dead. So I pray for myself the most because if I'm not spiritually right and I'm spiritually dead, my family is going to be spiritually dead as well.
Deep.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Oh man, killing the
Facts.
the quick five, man.
Facts. Well, again, man, we definitely thank you, Ya JaKetted, for being on here with us. A Dad's Hustle.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate that. People, check out A Dad's Hustle on IG right now. Again, thank you to Politic and Broadcasting. You can view this episode on the Politic and app, which is now available on the Roku platform.
Yes, sir. And thank you to the StreamYard platform once again for allowing no buzz, nothing going on. This thing is rolling smooth. Please check out at the HL Podcast on IG, TikTok, Facebook, all of that, all of the above. Please subscribe now. Like Amrock just said, please subscribe also to Adas Hustle. He is also on YouTube. You need your mindset straight. Go ahead to the Mindset Sensei. And be sure to check us out every Thursday for our latest episodes of our podcast.
Yes. So, Ya JaKetted, do you have any closing remarks, any shout outs, or anything that you would like to say to the people?
I like to give a shout out to Brand of Encouragement. That is me and my wife's company. So shout out to Brand of Encouragement. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to the Politic Inform. Shout out to Focus on the Future. Shout out to Running Wild. And the last thing I would like to say is if you haven't tuned in to this podcast, you better start tuning in. It's the one and only Ya JaKetted, and we unleashing on lions, baby.
Appreciate
My
that,
guy,
man.
my
Appreciate
guy.
that. Everybody, peace and love.
We out.